Hello, I'm Michael Jeck, and I teach film at George Mason University. One of my courses is Mysteries on International Screens, and I'm here to introduce an episode in the Montalbano series, La Danza del Gabbiano, or Dance of the Seagull. We don't see a seagull actually dance. It's a metaphor. But, yes, seagulls figure, not prominently, but they give a few clues. We'll leave it at that. Well, of course, this is the Montalbano series about Salvo Montalbano, commissario, translated here as detective, probably ideally inspector. Of course, then Cattarella, the idiot receptionist phone guy at the police station, always calls him, if you listen, dottore, doctor. That simply means he's a university graduate or college graduate. And honorific in that respect. And if you're listening to the Italian carefully, well, it's a mixture of Italian, Sicilian, and something in between, so it sounds authentic, but everybody can understand it. That's the same with the books written by Andrea Camilleri. I can't recommend reading the books too highly because that way, these are very faithful adaptations. Camilleri co-writes them. But that way you get his narrative voice, which is one of the most sarcastic in literature. And while we can see Montalbano stuffing himself with what looks to be pretty succulent stuff in the book, they explain what it is. Nice little trade-off. Well, it's a series, and that has different dramatic emphases and surges than a standalone would, because we've invested, say, years, decades in particular characters always played by the same actors. And if we just saw this thing by itself, that somebody is in danger of death or dead or what, would be suspenseful perhaps, but not heart-tugging. Well, I've said enough in that area. I think you get the idea already. That's something that only a series can give you in a sense, because even the greatest drama, you've only watched them half hour, 45 minutes. If it's Hamlet, maybe 3, and it's not the same thing as years where they assume a lifelike ability. Then in passing, well, it's not emphasized in every episode, but Montalbano, played by the great Luca Zingaretti, has a girlfriend not in Sicily, in Genoa, Livia. And he is very faithful to her. They get together. She used to appear in a lot of episodes, and then the German actress who was dubbed in Italian, I guess she got tired of it. They wrote her out. Sometimes she's a voice in a phone. She's in the novels, of course. He hasn't been faithful to her twice. Once, to his great chagrin, with mortal consequences, and another one where he just plain kicked himself, although nobody got killed as a result. Once again, with a long-term character, you're going to build up a head of steam of suspense, since we know him, in a way that you wouldn't in a standalone episode. I suppose somebody's going to have to look upon these things as a separate art form with separate dynamics. Well, that's a lot of pretentious stuff, and it's a Montalbano episode, which generally means great fun, great filmmaking, great mystery. And now let's see Dance of the Seagull.